success is only defined by goals that you're trying to achieve.
Right.
And there was always a argument about what the actual goals are, because everybody had their own goals. And lots of people had very vague goals that were non-specified and are very hard to say that they succeed.
Right.
So to say that the movement actually succeeds is pretty difficult.
Yeah.
Because
For the
you
sake
have
of
to
that,
define what it's trying to achieve.
yeah. Let's say that. Yeah. Let's say that we take the people who control the world no longer control the world. They no longer set in
I don't
practice
think anybody
these.
actually controls the world, because the root of the problem is not people, as in specific people. It's the problem is people in general. How people rely on other people, how they let other people control them.
You're right about that. So I think for the purpose of this video, let's say some of those controls are changed. Some of the
To change the control, to change who's controlling this world, quote unquote, you'd have to change human nature, and that's really what is required right now, is a serious shift in human nature for people to stop relying on superstition and relying on other people to do things for them. They need to take a lot more responsibility. People need to learn how to take responsibility and take control back to themselves rather than giving it to religion or politicians or anything else for that matter.
Okay. So suppose this does happen. We have
hopefully it happens.
Either through the combined efforts of everyone, not just the people in this movement.
Take the combined efforts of everyone.
So let's say that this does happen and that we have transformed the world from the kind of murderous, the murderous wars, from the scams we run, like Whole Foods scam, like all these different scams.
Whole Foods is not like the biggest scam right now.
Or
the biggest scam is the financial scam.
But or like the scams that meat is subsidized but organic foods are not. All these kind of Once
again, those are small problems. The bigger problems are the completely out of control derivative market, the CDOs, and how banks.
And let's say that changes. Like we thought this was a debt clock, but it's not. It's the time ticking away. But let's say these debt problems, these financial problems are solved.
Change lots of the problems that we have.
But hypothetically, let's say some of these things change.
I like pointing out that the biggest problem is the monopolistic government that we've got now that has way too much control.
Right.
And one of the serious steps towards making this a better world is to remove control from the government, give more control to the people, give more control to the free market, let it regulate itself rather than trying to put controls or any kind of bailing out banks or subsidizing companies, which completely destroys the market and completely destroys the economy.
So let's do some envisioning about this. Like say that some of these things are changed that we've just been talking about, or that all of them are. Or what kind of world would you like to see? What kind of world where still humans, still here on this earth?
Free. I mean,
freedom.
Freedom is the one thing that we're all trying to do. Freedom as in being self-reliant, as in being able to do what we want, as long as we're not holding anyone else and without anybody else holding out us.
Right.
It's like that's plain and simple, the simplest vision and goal that we should have.
A free world.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, we are free to self-determine. We are free to self-determine right now. Except for...
We are not as free as we should be. I mean, people do not have as much freedom as they should have. The government takes away way too much freedom and takes too much out. As long as there is a monopolistic government that has a complete monopoly and control over force and police and
this is
our daily lives, then we're not going to have true freedom.
So maybe try to paint a little more imagistic picture for us of what you feel freedom is what freedom is, like what it would be
What
like.
freedom
like-
is that I should be able to do whatever I want to do as long as I'm not infringing on anybody else's freedom, plain and simple. And
So-
unfortunately, in the world
So like
today,
would that
in the
like
world today, there's still way too many countries that do not have freedom. We have so many third world countries that are absolute dictatorships where the people do not have any freedom. We have the United States where people are very quickly losing their freedom. We have New York City that they keep putting little restrictions on our freedoms, like not being able to smoke in a park or not being able to order a soda bigger than 16 ounces or
Right.
not having salt on the table in a restaurant. These are ridiculous little freedoms that are being taken away from us just to prove how much freedom we actually do not have.
or like not being able to occupy in a park.
Exactly, but once again, that's a private park. Zuccotti is a very interesting element, but it's even stranger here in the open space of Union Square that is known historically as a place of protest, where they started shutting down the park at 12 o'clock just to make sure people do not stay here. What it would be like? It would
Yeah.
be like whatever anybody wants it to be. Because
Right.
in a world that's truly free, people would be free to associate and do whatever they want to do. So I might have one vision, but the future does not belong just to my vision. It belongs to all of our visions combined. And that future can only happen if we're all free to pursue those visions.